There's a new super resolution video upscaler on the block, and it claims to be even better than its open source competitors FlashVSR and SeedVR2. And what's really interesting about this upscaler is you can select certain frames of your video to upscale as images and then feed that to the model, and then it will use those and propagate the details from those images into the upscaled video. So you have a lot more control than you would have with just a black box upscaler where you just give it the video and you get an output video. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk step by step on how you can try this upscaler in just a few minutes on Runpod. So here I am logged into Runpod on the pods page, and I like to use the secure cloud, and then you want to select an RTX 5090 or an A40. An A40 is a little cheaper and has a little more VRAM, so I tend to go with that. Also, there's a bit more availability. I will put a link in the video description to the correct template. If not, you can always just go search for the template under SparkVSR. The one I made says Square Zero Labs under SparkVSR, and then you'll see the template right there. And then you don't have to edit anything. If you would like to change the login for the app, you can do that there. The default is username admin, password SparkVSR, but you can change it there to whatever you like. Then if you do change something, click set overrides, and then we are ready to start up our pod, and you can click deploy. It will take a few minutes for the pod to be ready. While it's warming up, I will show you that you can always look at the logs to see the progress. And then I did create a thorough template README that you can take a look at. And all of this code is in GitHub, and it is public and open source under Apache. Once the pod is ready, under the Connect tab, you'll be able to click on that Gradio link, and it will launch a web browser tab. And then the username is admin, password SparkVSR, unless you changed it in the template setup step. Then a lightweight Gradio app will launch, and this is just a web app to allow you to work with the model, and it gives you 3 ways to work with the model. You can use no reference frames, an API reference, or a manual reference. We'll walk through each of them. So let's start with no reference. So with this, you just have to give it your video that you want upscaled. So I'm going to drag in this really low quality video that contains some fish swimming around. You get to select your upscale factor. We're going to go all the way with 4x here because our input video is really low resolution at 240p, so there'll be plenty of VRAM headroom to go all the way 4x on that. And then the reference guidance scale does not matter yet because we're not using keyframes. But the chunk frames is our other knob. If there is a VRAM RAM issue, you can do fewer frames per chunk. So if you are running out of memory, you can either use a lower upscale factor or do fewer frames per chunk. Then just click Run SparkVSR and you will get a log output to show you the progress. You could also look at your telemetry to see what resources are being used. I'm accelerating the playback here, but you can see that during the main part of the task, we're using about 60% of our VRAM, all of our GPU, and about 40% of our RAM. And it's doing the job in 3 separate chunks of 33 frames per chunk and taking about a minute per chunk. And then when it completes, you can download your result. I created a little browser-based video diff tool over on fuzzpuppy.com so that you can compare 2 videos so you can really see side by side and magnified whether the upscaler did what you want it to do. So here I am dragging in the original video and then the 4x version. And then we can see in the slider view the difference. I don't know how well this is going to translate on YouTube, but it is definitely better on the right side. You can see the details on the fish's body. The lines are much clearer and distinct. Here where I froze the video, you can see that even more clearly, and the rocks in the background show, they're just basically blurs on left where you get the detail on the right. And then further down on the page, I have this tool where you get to hover on a part of the video and it will magnify that. So on the right, we have the upscale version, and on the left, the original version. And you can look at different parts of the video frame magnified. Even though the major innovation from this model is the ability to add frames, I actually really like the results that did not even involve providing any still keyframes. And the paper author's test results bear this out. The column with the red arrow is SparkVSR without any keyframes, and you can see just the quote base SparkVSR. It won in a number of the tests that were run against the other models by, you can see the rows that have the dark green, it came in first place, and the light green, it came in second place in those different tests. But the keyframe functionality is really interesting, so let's run through how you can use it. There's two ways in this app. You can use the API reference or the manual reference. So select API reference, then I'm going to keep the 4x upscale factor, and then we have this reference guidance scale. And this is how strong the reference images should have on the output. And I found one worked well. If you go too high, you're going to get some artifacts or weird remnants in the video, and there's a bit of a trade-off between how much impact the keyframes have and the stability quality of the video as shown in the tests run by the paper authors here. I'm going to leave the reference guidance scale at 1, and then you can provide explicit reference indices, and this would be the actual frames you want upscaled as images and then used by the model to upscale the video. If you don't put anything by default, this app is going to take your first frame, your last frame, and the middle frame. And then you're going to want to go to fal.ai and go get an API key and add a couple dollars onto your account so that you can call the Nano Banana model and create these upscaled images. So I'm pasting in an API key here, and then you can modify this prompt if you like. The default was provided by the researchers. It's just telling Nano Banana to increase the image quality. Then go ahead and click Run SparkVSR. And then it runs very similar to the way the no reference mode went, except now we are actually calling the fal.ai API. If we go into the fal.ai dashboard, we can see that 3 images were created from 3 frames of the input video. So we have the fish kind of turning around over time in these 3 frames. And we see that Nano Banana made clear images from the low quality frames and took about a minute per image. Back in our app, we see that it is running through the different chunks. Keep in mind that each chunk is not going to be able to see the keyframes that are not within its frame range. So a strategic way to do this with chunking is probably to have a reference image per chunk or somehow set it up so you're actually benefiting from your keyframes where you want them to be and not losing them because of the chunking. The logs will show you which frames were actually processed by FAL, which is helpful, and then you could just download the output like you did before. And so here I dragged in the FAL AI version upscale to the left side here. And so then we have on the left the version that used image references, and then the one on the right was just base SparkVSR. And it is honestly very difficult with this video to tell the difference between the two. The paper authors mention that the method can be used to propagate color across frames or to apply artistic edits. So in order to see more of an impact of the keyframe method, I ran these few experiments. Here I created a keyframe with the first frame of the video with her hair, this magenta, and we see that it gets carried over a few frames in the output video. This was at reference strength 1.5. And here I took a black and white movie and colored just the first frame, and then we see that the color carries over a few frames into the video, but at least it shows the keyframes are having an impact, albeit subtle. The last mode you can use is manual reference, and this you provide your reference images yourself, so you can generate them anywhere, any way you want, and then you specify which frame index you want for that specific keyframe. For instance, if this was the first frame of the video, you would put frame index 0, and then you can click add reference frame and add further images. So this one I'm doing is frame number 44, so just put frame index 44 there, and then can add as many as you would like. And to give you a sense of what the researchers did, they got the best results when they actually used the indexes of the iframes from the videos. in manual reference mode, then you just have to set your reference guidance scale for how much impact your reference frames should have, and then hit run SparkVSR, and then in the output you will see that your reference frames are being used at the proper indices. It took around 3 minutes to complete, about the same amount of time as the version without any reference images took. The version with FalAI obviously took longer because we had to call FalAI and generate the sharpened images. When you're done, make sure to stop and terminate your pod so you're no longer charged. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.